Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending which part of the world you are in. Welcome to my channel. We've been 2 weeks going over, 2 weeks now into this program. My channel started in 2012. We are now 10 years late because I did not do anything for 10 years on the channel. Let me know below, leave a comment below and let me know if that is the right thing to do. To set up a channel for 10 years and do nothing. Personally, I think anybody thinking of doing a project should never be like that. You have to start a project, carry on with it, and make sure you finish a project. Projects have objectives. So every objective is a timeline along the passage of a project. And good project managers normally set objectives and they make sure the objective is completed and a review is done to support the journey of project management and delivery. This YouTube channel is fantastic. The YouTube community, the economy, the society in the YouTube is fantastic. You get a lot of support from friends, families, and sometimes from strangers who are most of them are actually your best friends, your closest of family in the in the YouTube. I must have said Facebook. When I said Facebook, and I'm talking about the YouTube, I'm probably thinking about social media. And you know that with the coming of this society known as social media, we have come such a long way, a long progress. And we have a society, we have the media for the ordinary citizen of the world. And this is something we need to really appreciate. We need to really embrace and take opportunity. And that is why I decided to create this channel. And in as much as I did not really do very much, in as much as I actually started to do something in December last year, December, the latter part, actually, the last quarter of December, I decided to start producing videos, and my videos have been really fantastic. There are a lot of problems with the videoing, the equipment. I'm looking for good equipment, but more than equipment, I'm looking for technicians, family, friends, and also people who are actually might help me for as traders who are actually technicians. Who knows? Wait and see. I've had promises from family and friends who are really very, good technicians. I haven't spoke to some of them. I have really, technologists in my family. One of my brothers is actually a computer engineer. Hopefully, I don't know if he watches this video. He hasn't spoken to me. I haven't spoken to him about watching this video, whether he has been watching my video or not. But my videoing, the timing of my videoing has been coinciding with the with Christmas, and it's been a learning curve. I write, I speak, I talk, I laugh, I cry, but not on the camera. Doing everything on the camera culturally is actually altering. It's quite different, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity of having the YouTube channeling. and also the community, those who support me and those who are not yet supporting me. I am so persuaded that going forward, I will be able to access a lot of opportunity from the community to who will be helping me. I suffer a disease, a social media disease called invisibility or lack of visibility as such. And that is to be expected if you are only 2 weeks old in this vast system. And people who live across the globe in the UK, Europe, America, in the Eastern Hemisphere, in Africa, all these are actually people who are involved in the social media. Potentially, you're talking about everyone, except probably babies or children or whatever. But let's say by rough estimate, there are about probably 5 billion people. That is rough estimate because we are 8 billion in population, global population, and let us assume up to 5 billion actually potentially they will be watching my video. Luckily or sadly, they are actually not watching my video at the moment because there are quite a few who have discovered my video. It's a case of being seen, essentially, because also it's a case also of being attractive to allow people to see you. People can see you and ignore you if you don't look. If you don't seem to be attractive, but I have to really confess, I am getting a lot of support, especially outside the YouTube family, the YouTube community, the people who I know personally, family, friends. They have been really good to me. They have been supporting me, and they've been giving really good feedback on the kind of thing I've been doing, and I've been very happy. And it's very challenging, really. It's life changing. Imagine it's only 2 weeks, and if it is 2 months, 2 years, it's going to really be very interesting. And I'm asking you to join me in this journey. The best way to join me in this journey, actually, to access my YouTube channel, and do your best to watch the video and to subscribe. Do your best also to share with family and friends, and leave a comment below. Give your feedback on anything you want to give your feedback on. And it's so exciting, perhaps even more exciting, when people give negative comments. I would wish every comment was positive. That would be really fantastic. But we live in the real world, and the real world is very exciting. The real world is quite interesting. We get people actually saying nice things. Some people saying really nice things, and that is an eye opener, because it is so easy to assume that human being, that you understand human nature. Yes, I do know human being. I understand human nature. I know there are nice, very nice people, are more nice people than nasty ones. But believe me, people can change from nasty to being nice. People can change from being nice to nasty. It's a case of me trying to reflect on what I have done so far. 2 weeks ago now, approaching. We are beginning the next leg, going towards the third week, and we have had some good responses, practical responses. We have subscribers, and I wish to have more. We have had viewing. Wish to have more viewing. but people have been really, especially the subject matter being. We started off with the cost of living, and the cost of living has been very topical, and people have been really going through a lot of hardship, and they will continue to go through a lot of hardship. I have said to people in the previous videos, we have done really. I have done a lot of video, to be honest with you. I've got different feedback. Some people have been telling me to record shorter video, which is really very very good, and I have been reducing the duration of my videoing. And what I've done instead, I have actually decided to do even shorter video, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 10, 15 minutes. But going forward, because I'm going to, in the next coming days and weeks, I will be concentrating in the UK in terms of what topic I have chosen, which is actually the cost of living, and I will be concentrating on that, and it's going to be more specific in terms of government policy, in terms of the kind of help available for the people of Britain, whether the people of Britain who are actually citizens, people who are resident legally living here, and people who not really legal immigrants. I will have to look and see what is happening with them. But I know there are always, of course, there's always some basic help with people who are already in this country. They are supposed to be fed, and they're supposed to be accommodated. They're supposed to be treated if they're sick. They are supposed to go to. I don't know if they go to school. I don't think they do. But if they come with children, I actually think it's not good enough to think, but because I don't know really. I think children will get some form of help. I'm not sure if it is going to be a child benefit in terms of welfare benefit. We are 12 minutes now, but I'm going to go on because I don't want to interrupt this process this time. I'm going to be recording a fairly longer video to see how it goes really. And we have been talking about the cost of living in the first instance, in the early stages of this videoing, and later on I decided to provide a wider background in terms of the welfare state. The welfare state, the feedback I got from so many individuals, a lot of people actually think the welfare state is for people who are unemployed. Yes, it is for those who are unemployed, but also for those who are employed, also for those who are actually doing business. Like I said in the early videos, I say that the main source of income for people, for ordinary people in this country, is actually employment and self-employment. And if you are not working as employed or self-employed, then you're going to need a source of income to do with the welfare benefit. What we call the welfare benefit is actually social security, in terms of looking at the overall economy and the governance of the welfare state. The welfare state is part of the public sector. The public sector is part of the UK economy. In the initial stage of Britain modernizing into what we now see as a state, along with Europe and America and the Asian countries and continent, as well as Africa, developing and prospering and expanding improving things like transportation to do with airplanes, trains, buses, taxis, and cars, motorbikes, all these motorboats, all these actually very vast establishment of the economy, and the public sector in modern economy became the biggest. The public sector became the primary sector of the economy, and it still is the primary in terms of size, also in terms of public spending. I mean, national spending in terms of the state expenditure. Yeah, the public sector is really huge, and the private sector is increasingly becoming big. The thing with the public sector is that they are very wealthy. And you're talking about big corporations within the traditionally private economy, private infrastructures like banking, insurance, and also hospitalities like hotels, and others like what do you call them? Um, you name them. I mean, there are a lot of things to do with private companies in the UK, in Europe, America, and around the globe. The global economy is quite similar with each others. In if you watch my previous videos, you will discover that we really looked at the development of the welfare state and welfare economy, welfare governance, that they are quite similar. Actually, even in those ancient times, and but also in modern times, especially in modern times where there were more communication, like there were no more links between different states. So we saw the welfare state. The reason I decided to speak about the welfare state, because it forms the background of to the background to the support being given for the current the cost of living. Without the welfare state, there will be no help for the cost of living at all. And also, without the public sector, there won't be any help. Because, see, the thing public sector operates is that at the moment, especially in the UK, what happened with the private, with the with the public sector is that I mean, you could argue that the public sector is actually the state, is the government, because the government actually makes sure the infrastructure is there, and things like road, communication, technology, and research facilities, scientific centers, everything you see in this country, infrastructurally at least, and also in terms of economic management, is actually the state. The state is doing that, and it costs money. The main source of revenue from to run the state is actually taxation and borrowing, nothing else. If there's anything else, then it's quite negligible. And they help the private sector, they help the public sector. The government right now is investing heavily in infrastructure, which is actually capitalism. No, is a capital, is wealth, which is consistent with capitalism. Within the global economy, the agenda is to actually move from left to right within the political spectrum. Moving from the left to right effectively means society will be going from public to private. It's something called privatization. In many places, it's called structural adjustment policy. Structural adjustment policy mainly occurred in countries like Uganda, in Africa, where I come from, in East Africa, different terminologies are used to describe changes. Some people talk of reform, some people talk of improvement in the NHS. They talk a lot about improvement in the social sectors like schools, and also in some infrastructural systems like the roads. They always, transportation and things like that. Things are actually changing from being public to private. It's such that a lot of public goods, public services are being supplied now as being provided by the private companies, especially big organizations are actually providing these services, and which is a good thing. But the best thing, in my opinion, happening in society now is actually the development of technology, also the advancement in science, engineering, and all that. You're looking at things like nanotechnology. You're looking at things like robotics. You're looking at things like 3D printers and autonomous. Artificial intelligence, which is providing autonomy in vehicles, in like trains, trucks, cars, buses, and airplanes and motorboats. So in the future, within the next maybe 50 or 100 or 200 years, there will be no human drivers. Vehicles will drive themselves where they can't. Robots will be driving. And that's the same with factories, the warehousing, transportation, even building. 3D printer actually in China is now being tested to build houses, and I think you can build a whole mansion within months or weeks, or even weeks and months, and it is automated. You just set up the systems, and then it builds it itself. And also in China, families are now buying robot toys, robots as toys, as pets, dogs and cats. Instead of buying cats and dogs, you buy. I'm talking of adults buying pets, which are actually robots. They bark, they meow like cats, and um maybe child toys, and some other bits of toys are being developed in offices in the future, or even now in some places there are actually receptionists which are actually robotics. So you're looking at the future where machine and in the mechanization and automation is taking over, running the economy, which is actually not bad. And it's going to be a good thing, but that is in the future. But the foundation is now being laid, such that the idea of full-time education, full-time education, yes, also full-time education is still there, but full-time work or jobs for life might not be there for so long. And this is the situation we need to look at as we look at employment, because employment is a form of welfare. People might not really realize. People, if you are employed, if you work for a living, which means your employment is actually small, or even medium. If you earn maybe between 300,000, 400, no, 40, 30, 40, 50,000, it means you work at a welfare level. And this is important for people to understand, because people are so mistaken. They think the welfare state is actually a benefit system. Uh, I will attempt to talk about the cost of living support um, today, if I can. So I'm going to stop this video. This is just a reflection on what I've been doing so far and what will be continuing to do. And you're going to be hearing a lot about the cost of living. you are going also to hear a lot about you're going to be hearing a lot about the welfare state, because the welfare state is actually the backbone to any. The welfare state is really important. The welfare state is actually social security, which is actually the benefit system. It is the NHS, the entire NHS system, the National Health Service, the health service of the UK. And that is similar in Europe, is similar in Asia, and is similar now in the Middle East, going toward the African, developing African, countries in Africa, and also South America. So the system is actually being harmonized under the global economic system. And what you find in the UK is quite similar to what you find in Africa, in any African country. And one fascinating thing we sometimes ignore is the widespread use of the English language in China, in the Eastern Bloc, definitely in Europe and America, and especially in Africa. Even the French-speaking countries in Africa actually use English a lot. So English, in my opinion, is going to really be the main language to speak in the next 50 or 100 years to come. So it's good to speak in English, even if you speak like an African. I mean, just like we in Uganda still have to invent our, we really have our type of English. We speak it. We speak our type of English. And if you're born in this country, or if you're lucky enough to kind of like learn how to speak like maybe King Charles and Prince William and those posh people in the English economy, if you can speak like a Scottish if you want, or Irish. They're also posh in their own ways. But obviously, if you're from Africa, just do as much as you can, because Africans have their own English. The Chinese have their own English. The South Americans have their own English. The US have their own English. Take your pick. But English is going to be important as a means of communication. I say this because, in human nature, we always live in hope. I mean, I speak to so many different people, especially when, the life is always challenging, even without the cost of living. But it's interesting to talk about the cost of living. It's interesting to discuss issues. If there are issues, it's not really too incredible to be talking about issues. That is life, and different people deal with different with issues differently. There's something called resilience. Resilience. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think you don't really need to know what it is to understand what it is. And other people are actually more persevering than others. People cope differently with different mechanisms. The cost of living costs life. There are two words there: cost and life. Cost of living. So it comes in all shapes and sizes, but it manifests itself in lack of food, energy, money, housing, and transportation, jobs. But there are other costs of living which are hidden, which is actually psychological, emotional, relational, physical. There are people who suffer from physical disabilities, pain, physical pain, emotional pain. There are people right now actually committing suicide. There are people actually now who are actually really, really, really suffering mentally. They are stressful. All sorts of situations. These are actually costs. They are not benefits at all. They are costs. Cost of living is actually comes in all shapes and sizes, and my purpose is actually to do my best to maintain this theme and this channel. Hopefully, I will catch up with a few friends within the YouTube and family, because the YouTube people who go to visit the channels, become the family, the community of the YouTube. My hope is to join them if I haven't yet, and if I have, which I have, it's my intention to carry on. And the more, the merrier. People coming, come and subscribe and leave a comment, negative or positive. I prefer positive comments, but both are really, really, really useful. And it shows people are committed. It really, you can't take anything for granted. Somebody even going to like your material online, or somebody going to even subscribe, somebody going to subscribe or into your channel, you have to really value that. Even if it is only one, like I'm only 2 weeks, and nobody knows me in the YouTube environment. But I believe the more they get to know me, the more they're going to take more interest. The feedback is extremely important. But you keep what you get. I mean, it is what it is, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I value this medium as a platform where I can do work, I can do play, I can sing if I want to sing. It's freedom of speech, and it is it makes me talk, speaking to myself, speaking to you, and it also helps me to look at life from a different angle, from a different perspective. It helps me to be in touch with the world, even if I'm actually talking to myself, which is quite interesting. And in future, I'm planning actually to talk to people like medical doctors, professionals like economists, religious leaders, technicians, lawyers, professional, I don't know, footballers, sportsmen. If I'm lucky, I'll be meeting a few people, and people actually, families, friends, mothers, single mothers, young people who are actually facing challenges, who are actually happy, who are successful. Maybe have achieved a lot of things. Maybe they are engineers and they are young and they are probably making money. Hopefully, I will meet people like that and actually interview them, and that is the next step. Is going to provide a different format from what is now. So right now I'll be sticking to this, and I will be mixing it up a little more, going into maybe 4 weeks, 8 weeks. Then we'll see what we see. I'm going to stop this video here, and the next video is going to be specifics on the benefit system in the UK, and not just ordinary benefit. I'm not going to talk about the kind of benefit directly involved with helping on the matter of the cost of living. Thank you. Bye bye.